are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. What can I get for you?
Sure. I want to do the Nachos Party Pack.
Any sauce?
I'll take some mild sauce.
Okay, total for me $17.14. That's the first one then.
Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Woo, good.
That's big.
Go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Oh boy, this is really happening. Hi guys and girls, how are you all doing today? Happy Halloween. Welcome to another episode of Public Domain Theater. It's been a minute. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but I'm really excited about what we got going on tonight. You know, normally I like to drink some beers or some hard liquor or some sort of alcohol while I'm watching one of these public domain movies, and I like to get a little drunk. That's sort of how things have gone for the last couple episodes. But today, as you can see right here, we're going to do something a little bit different. I have the Taco Bell Nacho Party Pack that I just picked up from Taco Bell, and we're going to watch a movie called The Naked Witch, which I don't know anything about, but it's in the public domain. And so I'm going to eat everything that is in here, and we're going to watch this movie together, and we're going to have hopefully a fun Halloween night. So let's get the movie going, and then we will get into the nachos, and I will show you what we're dealing with. So, Naked Witch, ready, here we go, play. Sign in with your Google account. This video requires age verification. Oh, God. Unbelievable. I am 42 years old. If I want to watch The Naked Witch, I should be allowed to watch The Naked Witch. Okay, now we're rolling.
Witches. From just beyond the edge of light, from the deeper darkness where no living being has ever walked, comes the terror of those who have given their souls to the devil. This is the story of one such creature. This is the story of a witch. Across the pages of history lurk the ominous shadows of the werewolves, the sorcerers, the witches.
I want to get into the nachos, but I feel like I need to read this.
Evil that walks in the shadows of the night, and has feared the dark spirits of the unknown. What lies behind these monstrous fears that has chilled the hearts of man since the beginning of time? Do these sinister creatures live only in the superstitious minds of ignorant people?
Probably.
Those who have studied the history of the ages, and who know the dark
I also have a cherry Coke.
in the vaults of
Picked
time.
that up earlier.
To them, the word
So I'll be doing
witches
that to
brings
wash this down a little
fear
bit.
and a shuddering terror. Great minds have sought to explain these things, and in the great museums of the world hang the work of the master artists of another age, giving mute testimony to the horrors of sorcery and witchcraft.
All right,
as
let's
they
bust
saw it
open
in
these
their
nachos.
day.
Ready? This is
To tell you this hideous
literally
tale,
a half yard of
and to better help you
nachos.
understand these murderous
So,
creatures, let's go
Let me
back
turn the box
500
around
years.
so I can
Well, that
show
will
it
bring
off
us
a
back
little
to the
bit.
time known as the Dark Ages, when the witches
Good
held much
God.
of Europe in their black grip of fear. And let us study some of the paintings by the great
What
master
am I?
artists
How
who
am I
lived
going to
in the
eat all
age of
this?
witchcraft. And through their eyes and the genius of their art, let us try to understand these strange creatures and the evil forces behind
It begins.
them. In the old books, we
Is this
read
whole
that a
movie
witch
just this guy
is
talking?
one who has given his soul to the devil. To do this, they must renounce God and all other things that are decent and good. It is said that they make a pact with Satan written in their own blood.
Did I accidentally watch a documentary?
The devil gave them supernatural powers of magic and evil.
Gonna need some napkins for
They could
this.
make their bodies disappear or change into any kind of beast or animal at will. They were given the power to cast their ominous shadows across the lives of others. They could cast evil spells upon their victims, causing them to go blind or lose the use of their limbs.
I gotta turn it up a little bit. I can't hear over the crunching of the nachos.
They could turn their victims' lives into nightmares of hell. For the devil is their master, and they must go forth upon the earth serving only the powers of evil. The witches would meet in the night at a prearranged rendezvous, usually in old secret dungeons or in the black depth of a forest. These meetings were called sabbaths and were always held during the night, for the devil's greatest power was believed to be from sundown to cockcrow. And many of the finest paintings by the great artists of that period tell the story more eloquently than words of the strange and evil things that took place at the Sabbath. The witches would appear for this sinister ritual in the form of all kinds of hideous creatures, such as beasts or birds, or half beast and half human. They would begin by celebrating what was known as the Black Mass, which was always conducted by some ex-leader of the church who had renounced God to serve the devil. The Black Mass will live in infamy forever.
Well, everyone knows that.
Some of the most terrible criminal acts took place, such as the slaying of children, whose warm blood was offered up as a sacrifice to Satan. Then their bodies were thrown to the dogs, or roasted and eaten by the witches. Following this ritual, the entire gathering would throw themselves into the most depraved orgies of filth and obscenity conceivable to the human mind. But to these evil, perverted creatures, it was all terribly exciting.
I don't
and it
like
provided an excuse for their unbridled lust and perverted sex.
What kind of peppers are
The
these?
fact that it had to be carried out in utmost secrecy made it all the more thrilling.
I don't think I like these.
Yet those same evil, murderous
So I might
creatures
skip these.
who changed
No,
their
I'll
bodies
try
into
one.
all sorts
I will
of hideous
try
beasts
one.
and engaged
But I'm
in those
probably not gonna eat all
unbelievable
those.
rituals by night.
But obviously the goal
Lived
here
by
is to
day
eat
as
all
ordinary
of
human beings, such as shopkeepers,
everything
housewives,
else, all these
or
nachos.
farmers. And as the years went on, the witches continued their murderous assault upon the people.
Whoa.
And it is said that they called forth all the
kick to it.
legions of the dead to battle for the souls of the living. For this is the goal of the devil.
Ooh. That's too spicy.
From the
for
beginning
me.
of the 13th century through the 18th century, witchcraft ran rampant through Europe.
I'm not a very spicy
and
kind
was
of guy.
practiced with all of its blasphemous and obscene rituals. So, the Middle Ages became the Dark Ages,
All right. Oh my god.
the age of witchcraft,
I have
the
a
age of fear.
lot of work ahead of me here
But
with
men
this.
and women who still had the courage
And
to fight did so
I don't
with
think this
all
movie
the
is very
weapons
long. I
they
think
knew.
it said it was 59 minutes.
And after 5 centuries, the tide of battle turned. In many European countries, the
So if you
practice of
want to see me
witchcraft
eat
was
for an
made a
entire
capital
hour,
offense. Rulers decreed that their countries must be freed of this
Here's your
terrible
opportunity.
scourge, and that all convicted of practicing witchcraft must die. Armies were called out to hunt down the witches. The fear was so great that entire villages said to be infested by witches were put to the torch. The old records tell of flames rising high
What
into
is
the
this
night
thing?
sky, and hideous creatures streaking across the burning heavens, screaming foul obscenities. When confronted with death, many of the treacherous witches confessed to the most hideous crimes. Even the hardened soldiers who were
get this
trained to kill
guy right
turned
here.
away sickened by some of their terrifying confessions. One group of witches alone confessed to the murdering of over 2,000 babies and small children, bought from the brothels and slums of the big cities. At last, the witches were no more. Old superstitions and taboos had yielded to the powers of light and knowledge. We, who live in the light of the 20th century, see the witch only in fantasy, as a hideous old woman sailing through the night
We know what
sky
witches
on her
are.
broomstick. We are certain that these murderous creatures who walked the world in the Dark Ages, committing their atrocious crimes and casting their evil spells, never really existed, except in the twilight zone of the mind. But are we mistaken? From deep beyond the edge of light, from somewhere out there beyond the grave, beyond the dimensions of life, do these ominous creatures still exist? Let us see.
Okay, actual movie now. Good.
This is the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself gives up contagion to this world.
Okay. Wow, that was a weird opening. Oh, you know what? I got some sauce for the nachos. Forgot to put that on. Let me do that right now. Yep, some mild sauce. Like I said, I'm not a very spicy guy. Sorry. Put all the little, are they jalapeno? These jalapeno peppers? I'm gonna put all of them in the other part of this half a yard long box of nachos. Pardon me, I apologize. That's gonna happen a few times. What can you do? The Naked Witch. Yeah, like I said, I don't know hardly anything about this movie.
If I could have known of the strange and haunting experience that was waiting for me, I never would have driven any further into the hill country of Central Texas.
Oh, Central Texas.
There are those who say that it was all a dream and that it didn't happen at all, nor could it happen in the 20th century. But I tell you, it happened. Perhaps you will be able to believe it if I tell you about where it happened and the people who lived there. To begin with, it was early spring, and there are few places in the whole world as lovely as Central Texas in April.
Yes, more narration,
not the
please.
Texas
I was
of
really
cowboy
hoping for
lore.
more narration.
For here, snug in a green valley rimmed by evergreen hills, are trim, clannish, thoroughly German villages. The German settlers came in 1846 seeking religious asylum in America. The green hills, the rocky slopes, and clear rushing streams reminded them of the hills beside the Rhine. From limestone outcroppings in the encircling hills, they built their thick-walled homes, most of them still standing, mellowed to amber by the sun, still occupied by descendants of the settlers. And they have kept the faith that made their grandfathers brave sickness, isolation, and Indian raids, so that it be kept alive.
All night. We're doing this all
The
night.
characteristic of
Or
the
for an
valley
hour.
is the great number of bells, church bells,
I don't think I
the
can eat all this in
Abendglocken
an hour.
with evening bells.
Look at...
And there are the school bells, which
Too
have
much.
rung for 100
I
years,
forgot to put
calling
my
the
sauce
children
on.
to schoolhouses that were built by their great-grandfathers. Though English and German are spoken interchangeably, German is taught in the schools and is still the language of social contact and of the home. And they sing in German.
Really fascinating stuff so far. Just edge of my seat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this Nachos Party Pack is not meant for just one person, more like 3 or 4, but, you know, pandemic going on, I'm not inviting anybody over. I mean, I'm in my parents' basement, so What are you gonna do? Yeah, some things have happened since the last episode. I don't know if you've been keeping up with me or not, so I might provide you with a few updates here and there. If you don't,
Yes, this was spring.
If you don't mind.
The time of Sangerfest, the singing festival. I was trying to get to the village of Luckenbach, where a singing festival was in progress. You can joke all you want to about how far a sports car can go on a gallon of gas.
I will.
But when they're out, they'll sit there like any other car. I was already late, so I decided to leave the car and walk into the village. This was the last day of the singing festival, and the last day I could take away from college. I was writing a thesis on the early Germans in Texas, and the festivals were important to my research. As I walked through the countryside toward the village, I thought to myself how lucky these people were to live in such peace and unspoiled beauty. And yet, as I approached the old burr mill on the outskirts of the village, an ominous feeling crept over me.
I'm looking up to see when this movie came out.
The dark shade trees above the mill race were about to swallow me up and take me back 100 years.
1961.
As indeed they soon would.
I would have guessed mid-60s. 1961 this came out.
Hello there.
The Gates.
I'm looking for a place to stay for the night. I wonder if you could help me.
Schönig sehen, mein Bruder Hans. Good beer. Wiener Schnitzel.
Sounds good enough for me.
Very convincing.
Kirska.
Her name was Kirska. It was a pity that such a lovely creature would be the one to tell me that I was too late for the festival. She was dressed in a costume of the old country and had taken some village children to the festival. She said that her grandfather would be glad to have me at the inn. As we turned to go, I couldn't help thinking that the old miller could help me in my search, so I turned to him. He seemed pleasant enough as I asked him if he could help me. But when I mentioned the words superstitions and witchcraft, he simply turned and continued with his grinding.
I am not a fan of narration, so...
I dismissed the old miller from my mind as overly sensitive, and we started walking through the village toward the inn.
Yeah, we see you walking.
I tried to ask Kirska questions about the village, but she was interested in what she called the outside. What it was like at college. What kind of clothes were being worn by girls her age. Suddenly I realized that I was out of place in this village, with its century-old homes and clean-swept walks. But as we approached the inn, her mood changed. It was as if she wanted to help me, but couldn't find words to explain how.
You must be careful. The old ones do not like to speak of the spirits and their hex.
And your grandfather?
Grandpapa will be glad to have you in our house. He will talk of anything you wish, and much of what you don't.
That evening, after a good German dinner by the fire, Hans Schönig, the innkeeper, puffed on his pipe and tried to find words to answer my questions.
Ja, mein Bruder, the miller. The villagers, they are afraid to talk of those days when the spirits were about our belly. Especially the Luckenbach witch.
The Luckenbach witch?
I think I talk too much.
Surely after all these years it would be nothing if you told me.
I will help you when I can, but we must not talk of the witch.
But I promise you, I'm not going to say anything to anyone. I'm just interested
Good
in
not.
I had just about given up hope of any help from anybody Come in.
This water is fresh from the well.
Thank you. Oh, do you have to go? I mean, well, I'm not having too much luck with the others, and I thought someone younger might be able to help. Someone like you.
More help?
With my thesis. I'm doing research for a thesis.
They want to help you. If they could be sure it was the German immigration you were writing about.
It's a good one right there.
Okay, so it's not just about the immigration story. So it's also about customs and legends and strange oddities that we're hereabouts.
And witchcraft?
Listen, I didn't say anything about
You can be honest with me.
All right, so I'm interested in witchcraft and sorcery in the old colony. What's the harm in that?
The old folks do not take these things lightly.
Yeah, we know.
I didn't mean to upset your folks the way I did. But what can be the harm in a guy researching something that happened over 100 years ago?
You would have to live here to know us, to understand these things. You're what we call friender. You're from the outside. They don't trust you.
Kind of feeling like this
Are they
movie
trying to hide
sucks
something?
so far.
Don't you? Why are you so interested?
It's just an academic hobby with me.
But I'm gonna,
I know
stick
there's
with
a lot
it.
of talk about witches and warlocks and stuff like that, and a lot of people actually believe it. But I've done a lot of research on witchcraft, and I actually believe it can be boiled down to a simple mathematical and economic formula.
How do you mean?
Look, in any history book, in any age where there was widespread famine, sickness, want, you find an outbreak of women being denounced as witches. In the late Middle Ages, thousands of people were executed in Europe and England. In Massachusetts, 20 witches were put to death. All of these were times of widespread disease and hunger.
Cheers.
But when your people first settled in this country, they had not only disease and hunger to contend with, they had the Comanche Indian raids as well. Little wonder, then, that the ugly word witchcraft was heard in the new colony.
But what pleasure can you get from studying about all this?
To better understand the witch hunts we have today.
Witch hunts?
You would think that after the delusions of New England and early Texas, the urge to hunt witches would have disappeared from the Western world.
You would
but
think.
Nothing of the kind. The medieval idea of witchcraft was replaced with things like race and nationality.
What can I do to help?
Your grandfather mentioned the Luckenbach witch, but caught himself when I tried to find out more about her. Now, I've heard of this case before. Can you tell me something about her?
There was a woman called the Luckenbach witch. My grandfather and granduncle will not talk of it because it was their grandfather, Schernick, who denounced her.
The settler that built this inn?
Yes.
They're setting everything
very
up
rude.
right now. You're not supposed to be scared just yet.
That very bed.
This is the setup, It's gonna get
Don't
better.
leave now.
I have an
I think.
old book, very old, which will tell you all about it. But you must not tell the others about the book.
You have my word.
I'll just be a minute.
Kirska,
Yes.
you have the sweetest smile.
Is that what the college boys are telling all the country girls this year?
No, I really mean it.
I believe you.
It's just that I don't ever really notice anyone until they get a little bothered and light up like a candle. With
What?
your German good looks set off with something simple and black, you'd look like a little cameo.
I'd better hurry.
The hell are you talking about? Dial it back, dude. Ain't gonna happen. Maybe it will. Who knows? He's got confidence. I'll give him that.
As I finished my packing, I actually felt that my luck was changing for the better. Just how much better, I couldn't describe. You'd have to see her.
Is this the Naked Witch? Oh, that's still her.
You said something simple and black.
I do like it.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I did.
yeah, you did.
Shouldn't you close the door?
Hey.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Well, business is about to pick up.
I'm not sure I've got you figured.
Because I asked you to close the door?
Well, yeah, that and
And you wouldn't want Grandfather to know we were alone?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, you didn't think I wanted to be alone with you?
No. Well, to tell the truth, I'm not sure what I thought at the moment.
I'll tell you. You didn't think little country girls ever thought of being alone and things and life.
But,
Well, who knows more about life and things and being alone than farm people?
Well,
It's just that farm people don't talk about it too much. Too much talk ruins it.
I'll be...
I'd better give you your book now and go. Because after giving you your book, I have no reason to stay. Except on one condition. And that wouldn't be fair to you. Good night, Friender.
What? What'd she dress up like that for? I thought she was, I thought it was time for sexy stuff.
Well, I'll be damned.
Guess not. I mean, it's 1961, so... Is there going to be any nudity in this? Probably not. But if the movie's called The Naked Witch, don't you have to have some nudity?
The early Germans in Texas. To understand
Find
and
out.
properly know how witchcraft and suspicion raised its ugly head in the early colony, remember that in the first year of the settlement, typhoid, sleeping sickness, and other bitter hardships were climaxed by an epidemic that took the lives of 200 of the 600 settlers. The villagers looked for someone on whom to blame the troubles. What better subject than the widow who walked by moonlight, the widow who was too aloof to speak to the women of the village, the widow who caused the whispers about a clandestine affair with the innkeeper Scheunig, the widow witch, they called her. Witch? It must be remembered that this was a time when a man of power could conveniently denounce as a witch any woman discovered with him in his bed. Such a man was Otto Scheunig.
Yeah.
What's this all about?
Well, Otto?
Well, widow?
What excuse is it this time, Otto? What excuse?
I have asked you to give me more time, woman.
I have given you time enough. You
Calm
must
down.
decide between us.
Ah, I got a jalapeno.
I cannot break charity with my woman while she is infirm.
The villagers are talking. I hear their mouthing when I pass their doors.
What are they saying, widow?
They're saying that I have taken the bed of an invalid wife. They're blaming me for their miseries. For curdling of milk, spoiling of butter. They say it is the curse of the widow witch.
Nice cuckoo clock.
My washerwoman tells me that on Sunday last, the preacher read from the Old Testament. I shall not suffer a witch to live. You must take me away from all this.
I cannot break charity with my woman while she is infirmed.
You have broken charity with me? What am I? A chattel to be used when convenient? To function where your wife cannot? To lie with, but not to marry?
Quiet, woman. Keep your tongue.
I'll not be silent.
She got a point, dude. She got a point.
For I fear this talk of witches was born with you. Is it you who have woven this web of spectral evidence about me? Is it you who have called me a witch? Oh, your face belies you, Otto. Would you have me burned?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Witches are for burning.
No! No!
Stop your shouting, woman.
Let her hear me. Let all hear me. You belie me.
They're here now. The elders are here to learn how you cast your demoniac spell over this house.
No! No, you lie!
I have told them how you cast your spell over my wife to make her invalid.
My stomach not
She
happy.
is in league with the devil. The widow is a witch.
It is not pleased
That
with me
same
right
night,
now.
Under cover of darkness, they took the widow to the graveyard. There are those who said that she waited proudly without fear, and that she whispered over and over, "Oh, alle Schönigs, death to all Schönigs. I will return,
You Alec.
and with the self-same spire, I will kill all who bear the name of Schönig." How convenient for Otto Schönig that there could be no trial. Death would be by post oak spire. They buried her not 100 yards from where she had lain with the cruel and deceptive Otto Schönig.
They're not going to show it? Couldn't start a fire? Budget restraints? There's a witch out there somewhere, buddy. And she might be naked. You're gonna hear my heat kicking on every now and then. It's pretty cold outside tonight. So apologies, but you know, it adds to the atmosphere. And yes, I'm drinking a Coke with Taco Bell. Taco Bell obviously sells Pepsi products, but like I said, I had this and figured I'd put it to good use, so I think most people like Coke products better than Pepsi. Although I've really cut down on my soda lately. I have been eating really good. I've been eating really good lately. I've not been abusing myself like I am tonight, so don't think that I do this every night. Nobody should do this every night. Nobody should do this ever. But I feel like I'm making progress. It's just that there's going to be a lot of nachos under all the toppings that I'm going to have to get through as well. But I got some mild sauce for that, so we'll do this. We'll make this work. I might want to pick up the pace a bit. Everything's cold already. Oh well. So yeah, I did move since the last episode. You might notice my surroundings are different. I'm in my parents' basement, chilling, just, you know, hanging out. And left Los Angeles a couple months ago, get away from COVID, get away from all the crazy stuff going on. So, a little more relaxing over here in central Illinois. Happy to be here. But just wanted to give you that update really quick. There's a cat down here somewhere, so you might see her at some point. Chunk, who was in the last video I noticed, the last public domain theater, passed away in May, sadly. But she lived a nice long life. And I got her ashes right over here in the corner, so she's chilling down here with me too. Whoa!
There it was, the mummified face of the widow, with eye sockets staring.
That's my update.
And among the crumbling bones, the stake, now petrified stone. What a prize. If I could but take the stake, and the temptation was too much.
It's pretty gnarly. Whoa! I don't think I'm going to drink this whole Coke. I don't really want to be up all night. The naked witch awakes from her centuries of slumber. Oh! This is what I'm gonna feel like after I get cryonics done, after I die. Freeze my head, come back to life in a new body. It's gonna be sweet. I think they're blacking out the nudity on this print that I'm watching. Yeah, it's all blacked out. Well, good. I'd probably have to do it, so glad that somebody is doing it for me. Sorry if you came here hoping for some nudity from the titular naked witch. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Apologies. What if you just killed him? That'd be awesome. Wow, look at those eyebrows, holy cow. Kinda into it. A witch who's into knife play? Okay, okay. I just don't know if I can. I'm not full yet or anything, but I'm a slow eater is the problem. So can I get through all these nachos in an hour? I mean, do the best I can. Whoa! Did she rip her top off? Who's the naked witch now? Got a fork too if I need it, or a spork. Get a little more mild sauce going on here. I could really use some more narration in this movie. How am I supposed to tell what's happening without narration?
And one by water.
That's the girl's dad. It's a lot easier to pay attention to these movies when you're not wasted off of vodka shots. And beer and whatever else, you know?
The next morning, the elders came to the inn. They had fished the body of the miller out of the blood-soaked mill pond. There was no question of what had happened, for they had also discovered the empty grave of the witch. I tried to speak up, but words wouldn't form in my mouth. This was all a dream, I wanted to tell them. This thing didn't happen.
Was this movie
As
based
the
on a
elder
book?
continued to talk, the sudden realization came to me that it was true. I had uncovered a grave of a witch, and now, after 100 years, she had returned to avenge herself.
100 years, so the witch is from 1861? I'm pretty good at math.
The elder warned that no one should leave or enter the village until the witch be found and return to her grave. Surely the witch would not stop at one death. Where would she strike next?
You don't want to call the police or
The
anything?
only two villagers with the name of Schoenig were the innkeeper Hans and Kirska. As the moon rose, we did all we could do. Bolt the shutters and wait.
A little day for night, right there. Back in the day, you didn't have much of a choice. Kind of digging this movie. Slow, bad start, and slow, but that's okay. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll be right back.
And one by fire.
I got a witch's hat. To really get in the mood, you know? She kill another one? They said there's two
I
left,
was
so
the
that
guilty
means...
party. Just as surely as if I had held the stake, I had killed them. I could no longer contain my guilt. And yet, some kind of power kept me from speaking up. It was as if I was hexed by the witch herself. I made up my mind to find the witch and stop the killing. The librarian must have wondered at my strange questions. Under the guise of research, I asked her if there was some place people could hide in the hills by day, maybe some place where they went to during the Indian raids. Yes, she could help me. there were some caves downstream from the mill. I had my information.
We can't just hear that conversation. See, they're breaking a cardinal rule of cinema. Show,
that
don't
night,
tell.
As the moon bathed
And they're
the
just
hills with
telling
light,
us all this
I
stuff.
crossed the mill race and headed toward the caves downstream.
It's never as compelling as just letting, showing us the story and letting it unfold. But, it's a public domain movie from 1961. What are you going to do? I hear a witch. Turn out your flashlight. That's from Left 4 Dead. Witch! I hope that nobody's actually watching this video on Halloween night. Because this is not very scary. So if you are, I apologize. Oh! She naked? I believe she is. I think this is ripe for a remake.
As I watched, fascinated by this beautiful creature, I couldn't believe that here was a vengeful witch who had murdered 2 and was sworn to kill a 3rd.
Because she's hot.
For a moment I felt sorry for her. This lonely nymph, whose friends were water snakes in the moon. And she seemed to know every sound of the night.
Get these jalapenos out of here. Look at that. If you're a fan of jalapenos, leave a comment below, I guess. I am not. Too spicy. Yeah, you want to kill her, but you're also getting your kicks by watching her bathe in the night. You can't have it both ways, dude. I guess maybe you can. Yeah, she's naked. Do I have to blur this out? Ugh. It's gonna be a lot of work. Why did they blur some of it out, but now this is just full on? Who's that? Who's spying on my witch activities? Make out.
As her eyes met mine, all thoughts of capture or punishment of the witch drained from my mind. I was helpless. Her power and beauty engulfed me, and I found myself completely obeying her will.
That's
I followed
convenient.
quietly as she picked up the gown she had torn from Kirska's back.
There's too many damn nachos. Oh. One of those things where you feel like it's like a deep dish pizza. You feel like you're putting a dent in it for a while, and then you look at it again, and you're like, I can't, there's no way. I will not quit. Hope you're enjoying the second camera angle that I set up so that you can see, track my progress. That's a good one. This is just a bunch of smut. It's like an early erotic thriller. I'm telling you, it's right for a remake. Comment down below who you would cast in the Naked Witch remake. These two characters. Keep it, under budget. Let's not go. It can't be Scarlett Johansson or anything like that. Say. How about the girl who played the Love Witch in the movie The Love Witch? Anybody see that? I thought the movie was okay, but she was really good. Yeah, I would cast her. And for the guy, I don't know. Maybe Steven Yeun. Is that allowed? Is that legal? He does horror movies. Steven Yeun and the girl who was in The Love Witch. Could be a hot ticket. Look up her name. Got a witch dance going on. Samantha Robinson. The Love Witch. I don't know, maybe she wouldn't want to get typecast as a witch. I wonder what else she's done, though. I thought The Love Witch was way too long. It was like 2 hours long. I'm like, yo, 90 minutes, folks. Samantha Robinson. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Abigail Folger. She was in Cam. I think I saw Cam. And The Love Witch. And soon, the remake of The Naked Witch, coming let's say 2023. Gotta get through this COVID crap before I can properly do anything, you know what I mean? It just sucks, it really sucks. Hope everybody's staying safe. You can just do your own Naked Witch dance in your home, just You don't even have to be naked for it. You can just put on this black little outfit and do your thing. For your husband or your wife or your dog. You could even go to a cave and do it if you, I mean, that's fine. Going to a cave is safe. Should be. Take a little weekend getaway. Recreate some scenes from The Naked Witch. Wonder if The Love Witch was inspired at all by The Naked Witch. Probably not. But you never know.
One by water, one by fire, but all shall die by the self-same spire.
I don't really understand. I mean, I guess I get the general gist of the movie, but she doesn't want to kill this guy because he's not in the family. Is that right? This might be close to over. Probably like 5-10 minutes. I'm slowing down a little bit. But come on, give me some credit. Is this really half a yard? A yard is 3 feet. This doesn't look like a foot and a half. I guess maybe, yeah. A foot is probably like that. Fair enough. It's not like it needs to be bigger. I gotta get this section right here. I feel that that's very important to do some damage over in this area. And everything's starting to get a little dry, so I'm gonna get a little more mild sauce going on here. It says, "You so get me. You so get me." In case you don't know me personally, I got married at Taco Bell. Little fun fact for you: I got married at Taco Bell about I guess about 11 years ago now. The Taco Bell actually that I picked up these nachos from. Right here in Normal, Illinois. So, you know how people can go to Las Vegas and get married in the Taco Bell wedding chapel? That was my fault. I started the trend along with my now ex-wife. But if you Google Taco Bell wedding 2009, you will see some stuff. Because it went viral for a little while and kind of blew up all over the all over the news. All over. I mean, all over the world. It was crazy. It was a crazy couple weeks.
Kirska!
That's a little fun fact for you. Oh my God. You kill her? No, guess that's that.
Later, in the cold gray light, I spread the dirt over the widow. My feelings were mixed. Here was a woman who had taken 2 lives. Yet she had been denounced maliciously and killed by the same stake. Was she witch or wronged widow? It is not for me to say. I am only glad that her tempest is over and she has returned to her 100-year sleep.
There you have it. The Naked Witch. Not bad. Not bad. I would give it, on B-Movie Mania, if you ever listen to my podcast that I co-host, we always give a movie a rating of 1 out of 100, and then something specific to the movie, So, like 1 out of 100, what would be good for this one? The only thing I can think of is Naked Witches. 1 out of 100 Naked Witches. Straightforward, simple enough. I will go... I'll go 40. Which is like 4 out of 10. Nothing crazy amazing, but I didn't mind it, It's something to put on in the background, or if you're, eating some nachos. Well, how did I do? How do you guys think I did? I can keep going, actually. If I really want to, I can. I still have all this over here. So I'll probably hit that, and then there's a little bit of guacamole right here. I might do that. And that's probably good. We don't need to kill ourselves. I think if you're having a little get together with some people, well, you probably shouldn't be doing that right now. But let's say that you live with some people and you're all quarantined together, which you still should be doing. Get the Nachos Party Pack, get it. Have a little party and put on some spooky movies. And have a good Halloween. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what are you going to be, or were you anything for Halloween this year? Because it's kind of a weird thing, because you're supposed to, be socially distancing and not going out much. But if you're wearing a mask, to go get some Halloween candy and whatnot, you're wearing a mask, then no problem, So let me know if you did anything for Halloween this year. I am, I'm not taping this on Halloween night, but on actual Halloween night, I am just going to probably watch some horror movies, which I imagine a lot of people are going to do, because it's kind of like, you can't go to like a big, adults can't really go to big Halloween parties. You shouldn't be. I'm sure it's going to happen because America is chock full of idiots, but if you're smart, you skip this Halloween, you hang out at home, put on a Nightmare on Elm Street, put on a Friday the 13th, put on a Naked Witch, put on the Love Witch if you want to, you know? Have a movie marathon, go get some Taco Bell maybe, pop out, get a little TB, or stay home and cook something, you know, maybe eat some candy, and have a good time. Have a safe, good time. I'm going to keep this rolling for a little bit. You feel free to turn the video off if you want to. I won't, you know, you won't, it won't be hurting my feelings if you do. But I just want to do a little more damage here. I hope you understand. And it's not even 8 o'clock here right now. So I'll probably put on another horror movie. Something that is not in the public domain. And keep working on this, you know? So, alright. Hold on. Thank you for watching very much. I'm going to try to do some more episodes. Like I said, it'd been a while in between. Close to a year, I think, from the last episode. So, chilling down here in the parents' basement. I can knock out a few more public domain theater episodes soon. So, apologies for all the chewing. I hope I dropped it down in the mix low enough for your liking. Will I go back to drinking for the next episode of Public Domain Theater? Probably, yeah. Probably. Leave a comment down below if there's something in particular you want me to drink. And we'll see. I don't drink tequila ever. That's really about it. I'm really not a fan of vodka, even though I usually do a shot of vodka on this show. I might, you know, next time around, I might keep that trend going. But also, if there's something sort of a special limited time food item that comes out from somewhere, maybe I'll do that again. If it's like a kind of a marathon food thing like this beast was. But we'll see. But anyway, again, thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. And we'll see you on the next episode of Public Domain Theater with your host, me, Paul Brooks. Happy Halloween. Let's do the big guy here. There he is. Ready? Go. Oh, I got jalapeno.